So if somebody out there is listening right now and they are budding actors and for me though, I sit here every day and I'm like, why are we always going through their system? I hate their system. Their system, whether we're talking about education, housing, political, it has never been designed for us to win. Let's stop playing their game. Let's do our own thing. That's why I bring
Amen.
up Tyler Perry time and time again because he completely plays his own game and they got to walk in lockstep with that. And there's nothing they could do about it because guess what? We supported him. Black people, he made his money on the backs of black people's dollars. And so he doesn't owe them anything. He owes us everything. Is that the model of the future, Jaya?
I think so. You know, I'm 1,000, a million percent behind Black ownership, and I do think we need more Black ownership in this industry. I know for a lot of folks, financing is an issue. You know, for a lot of Black folks, finding the money to really start up, you know, a conglomerate or a big media company can sometimes be a hurdle for a lot of people. But yeah, you know, I'm 1,000% behind Tyler Perry's model and us carving out our own ownership and our own model. But I also think we need to do it. There are some Black-owned, you know, companies that are out here and some Black-owned networks out here that I think we need to do a better job of supporting as well. You know,
Like what? Tell us what we're not
like
doing.
even like a TV One, you know, they're not knocking out numbers. You know, like I think they should be, and I think they have some good content. You know,
TV One, you said we need to do a better job supporting, but that goes two ways as well.
oh yeah,
We
no,
supported
go ahead.
we supported that Clark sister thing. I think we supported the hell out of it. When it's
That was
good,
Lifetime.
that never mind.
White,
Well then
white
I'm
on
all
network,
right. I'm
but
wrong.
yes.
Okay. Then why did TV One do the Clark sisters? All right. Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, there's Aspire, there's Bounce.
I'll tell
There are
you
a lot
why.
of different.
Okay. Tell us why, Erica.
Because they don't have the budget. They actually hold themselves, and I'm not saying they. I don't know who funds TV One. Again, we're talking about things that we don't even know are Black owned. We just know they do black content, but they don't have the budget to do larger shows. And I'm sure the minute that Queen Latifah, Missy Elliott, and Mary J. Blige got involved, they got involved so they could bring more budget, so the Clark sisters could have a better just more muscle and the quality be up. But, you know, I can't go past the Tyler Perry model to say that there's some detriment to the model that he's done that I said not was unsustainable, but was unfair. And the reason I say it is because I don't want to sit here and be a hypocrite. That we can hold up people, but we also have to say that model put a lot of people, they didn't get a lot of what they deserved when those crews worked on it. He has a model where he's been able to like a factory, push out content at huge amounts in very short amount of time. And how that's done is that you can do 4 to 5 episodes of any sitcom that might be on there per week. Now, that means that won't matter for me as an actress because SAG forces you to pay me per episode. You can do my episode in a day, or you could take, 8 days. But that's what happens. But for the crew, they get paid per week the same amount of money whether they do 5 shows or 1. Now, you tell me how much money is being stacked up when you can allow for your crews to work like that. And then suddenly you have 100 shows where it would take you 5 years to do what we did on Living Single. It takes them less than 6 months. And then does that return back to the community that churned out those shows in Herculean time? Does that go back to them? Or does it build a studio? And you might say, well, yes, it does. That community now has a studio. But if that's the template, then we need to see more that money is going to the community that's giving up that and the sacrifice of that sweat equity. That's sweat equity. It's not something for him to pocket or him to invest in more of himself. It's for him to invest in the crews and the people that created the factory and machine that he built his great studio on. A lot of people don't like to talk about that, and I can see why. He's a very powerful man, and I've met him, and he's been a wonderful person to meet. I've never worked with him. But if I could give that huge criticism, it's large, because say what you want about Cosby, Oprah, or Spike Lee, they paid their people. They did. and it might have taken them more money to do it in New York or Chicago or, wherever you are, but they paid them. And they were able to they couldn't do as much as quickly, but they still were significant. So you can do both. And there's something about being said about being good for goodness sake, and not just sort of holding people up and then not looking at how they got there. And so I say that to say, yes, I support the brother. Yes, he's magnificently talented and a financial genius in terms of how he's created this the new platform outside of the status quo. But we also must make sure that those community dollars and the people that pushed that forward, they get that, the benefit of the sacrifice.